I want to go back to this deck and make a few changes to it. Okay, I still do have this in here. I can always just target myself and just put like 30 plus cards into my graveyard. Because of course I'm playing a bunch of cheap ways to just revive these dead creatures. Not really playing that many like creatures anymore. More so just good instants and sorceries, some of which could literally just let me go right into my deck and just put the creatures into my graveyard directly from my deck. And then stuff like Reanimate just revives them, of course. I could totally just put Parallax Wave back in anyways. I would just have to find room. I would just have to find room for it. Where is my Unburial Rites? Okay, here it is. Am I literally not? I'm not playing Damnation anymore, apparently. Do I not have room for it? Might as well put these back in, too. I can just discard this if I have, like, even just a single mana. Just discard it, go grab a Plains. Usually not trying to, like, I don't know, hard cast this for the full 6 mana. It's usually just discard this to my graveyard, go grab a land, and then we can always just revive it for very, like, cheap later. That is kind of the plan, yes. And since I have not done anything in the plains, the white area, for who knows how long, I'm gonna actually teleport back there and look around and see if maybe I can find something to do there. Okay, fort. Definitely doesn't look like something I haven't done before. Then again, have I dueled any of these, like... Is that a Rhinoceros? Have I dueled one of these before? I have not. I guess let's do that, then. I'll just discard this, go grab another land. It's fine. I'll just Swamp Cycle immediately here. Okay, he's just gonna Rampant Growth, that's fine. Draw a card. Not a land still. Okay, he's just gonna Rampant Growth again, that is fine. I'm gonna Brainstorm. Not find any lands in here. Oh boy. Search my library for a card, put into my graveyard. More importantly, I get the shuffle. So now it's possible I draw a land next turn. Still haven't drawn a land yet. I was about to say, oh, I can block this, but he could just basically... I could still block this and then just kill it, because this has Death Touch anyways. One more land. Oh, regenerate. I'm literally gonna sacrifice this for a land. I'm gonna go search for a land. I can go grab any card from my deck, but it's gonna be a land at this point. That's how desperate I am. Now he's got two of them. But since I'm just gonna bring this back and force him to sacrifice one of his creatures, I'm probably now gonna be okay. Look at all the lands he has! Meanwhile, I'm just sitting on 3 lands, and if he literally cannot answer Archon of Cruelty, it doesn't even matter that I'm just, like, stuck on 3 lands. Plus a Mox Pearl. Oh, what other creatures gain trample? Yeah, I'll just bring back an Archon of Cruelty and he will have literally no answer to it. Oh, you know what? I might as well just stick around and go for the treasure. I don't see why not. It's a really small fort. Okay, now that's more like it. Actually have a decent amount of lands in my hand. If I actually had more cards in my graveyard, I would have kept Treasure Cruise on top. Spectacular Spider-Man. I mean, I know what the card does, I just wasn't expecting him to play it. I mean, I know what this does. Okay, so it gets also +2/+2, and I'm gonna take 5 damage here. Frantic Search. I can just cast this from my graveyard anyway, so we will discard it. Alright, just to neuter this. Now he has to, like, tap down, like, creatures with total power 5, just to even, like, be able to attack with this again. Something about mutating. Because I don't really got much else to do right now. I'm just like, what if my opponent has a combat trick? What if they have something to increase its power after I block with Raffine? What if? Oh, I get a free token? Sure. I don't see why not. Let's just play this as a land, I suppose. Just seeing how much mana we've got. So yeah, I know I can grab anything at this point. I don't know, maybe try and just set up something like Archon of Cruelty or any of my big creatures next turn. This will be funny, maybe try and have like a bunch of creatures in the graveyard. Maybe even Living Death, perhaps, as well. Try and get a few more creatures into my graveyard and then just cast a Living Death. I can essentially just straight up clear the field at this point. I'll put another creature in my graveyard and then just drop a Living Death. Yeah, wipe his board and just put these back. Really thought for a second I tapped down all my mana. I'll just ditch 2 lands at this point. I guess I'll just, yeah, cast an Emperor of Bones and then pass. Buried Alive, that costs... I can definitely pay the 3, though. Up to 3 cards to put into my graveyard. Choose up to 3 creature cards to put directly into my graveyard, and I'll just... Okay, I do have 2 black. I do have 2 black available. And yeah, I'll just steal this. At that point, there was, like, seriously nothing more I could have done. Protection from red. And that's it, really. Target player removes all cards with flashback in his or her graveyard from the game. Specifically with flashback. If I'm not playing any cards with flashback, this actually does nothing. oddly specific graveyard hate I will likely never play in my life. There's just like so many like better ways to hate on cards in graveyards than only exile the cards with flashback. Two lands, I'm thinking about it. I was like, okay, on second thought, maybe we're not gonna do this. Anyways, I'll just pass. Okay, this is fine. Pff, intuition, wow. I guess let's use it. I will just go take, like, 3 of my best creatures in my deck, 2 of which are just gonna hit the graveyard. I think I'll just actually have to do Living Death the turn after. So yeah, anyways, it is what it is. We'll just do it the turn after. Again, I'll just let both of them hit me. It's only 4 damage. I'll just let him continue to play all his creatures. Yeah. It's fine. Just keep just play all your creatures. It's all good. Living Death. Everybody exiles all the creatures out of their graveyard, then sacrifices everything they control, and then bring back all the creatures in the graveyard to the battlefield. At this point, I don't think there was any like reason to bother with tampering with the cards in his hand. At this point, we really don't need to. The whatever this is. A vehicle with nothing to crew it. Beautiful. Alright, we'll fight one of these two. Human Bard who starts with Bard class. Okay, this makes sense. So that's a land on the back if I need one. I'm gonna try this hand. Gonna have to draw a land soon. Preferably one that makes blue, then at least I can use Preordain to sort of fix my draw for, like, next turn. That works too. Island cycling, that's also good. We can just island cycle, that is fine. throw that back into his hand. Okay, I guess now I'll just play my commander. Sure. Yeah, I'm definitely fine with that. He's spending his entire turn to level up this Bard class to level 3. This should be more than enough land to just do whatever. We'll put both the lands on bottom. I'll just pass turn. Oh, all legendary spells cost like a red and a green less to cast. Not just... oh, all of them. So if this enters the battlefield, except I can just prevent it from entering the battlefield. I can just Force of Will here. Mana drain. I guess. If I want to just counter something else, I can totally do that too. I guess I'm not gonna counter everything now. Pass turn. Oh, Minsk. The 3-color Minsk. 2 of them. And Boo has power toughness 6/6. Attack with all. Still gonna take 11 damage here. And continue to draw nothing but lands. That could work. Living Death could work. Unless I don't even have that many creatures in the graveyard in the first place. Okay, he has some creatures that you can also bring back too. This wouldn't be the best place to Living Death now, would it? Mystical Tutor, I can go grab, yeah, any instant or sorcery I choose. I do have to draw it first, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, just to, wipe all his creatures. And he's just gonna play more because he can. And this just came out of nowhere. Yeah, pretty much did all that for nothing. Apparently did all that for nothing. Flying. Oh, I can destroy what non-legendary creature? Destroy non-legendary creature. What non-legendary? But anyways, yeah, I still have to answer to these two one way or another. Okay, I could destroy somebody's enchantment, so... Sure, why not? Yeah, I have this I can also hide behind, but we're really just running out of options. Six or more creatures. So they don't have trample. Exile all non-land permanents that aren't legendary. Oh, really now? Does it really matter what order I exile them in? Okay, but thankfully neither one of these things can fly. Yeah, the Teferi staff gives it away that I'm playing Forge Adventure. Yeah, of course, like I don't imagine that exists anywhere else. In that specific version. And there's nothing here I really want to keep that badly. I'm already, like, super happy with the cards I own already in this. Monastery, which I've also... Yeah, I've been through... I believe I visited several of these over the course of this playthrough as well. I've seen a lot of these too. So I can grab all of this stuff without having to fight anything, it looks like. Oh yeah, hello, physicist. Hi. Oh, wow. Earthbind. $5X. I'm like, yeah, I think I vaguely remembered hearing something like that was possible. I just never bothered because... Okay, do I have, like... I'm trying to remember if I did on my, like, Mechanism, like, Minecraft playthrough, if I did, like, ore to ingot generator that does, like, 2 times or 3 times. I think I have a setup that does, like, 3 times. And I think my machine only converts ores to, like, 3 ingots. You can do, like, 1 ore to 5 ingots with... Yeah, you need a lot more machines going and different types of resources, but I'm still, like, really, really happy with just, like, a 3x setup. And yeah, if this playthrough ends, which it probably will very soon, is gonna probably be because I'm gonna start yet another Magic the Gathering playthrough, specifically the Realm of Legends one. Apparently it hasn't even been in the works for like that long, and already there's like a perfectly playable version I could just hop on right now. I mean, and granted, I believe I still have to update Forge. And I think I'm gonna wait until they get all the Secrets of Strixhaven cards in there. The whole set's, like, been, like, released at this point. I don't think it's, like, officially tournament legal just yet. Like, we haven't hit, like, the official release date, but pre-release literally just happened this weekend, which... If you're wondering where I was most of Saturday, it was actually at a Secrets of Strixhaven pre-release. Prepared, as in yes, one of the new mechanics. Some new creature cards in that set come with spells attached. Most notably, one of them has Ancestral Recall attached to them. You pay 1 blue mana to draw 3 cards. Anyways, yeah, this hand looks like it's very playable. Alright, so now I can get like 1 extra card every turn. If I don't mind losing some life over it. I'm gonna lose 5. I'll just do Buried Alive right now, in fact. I don't lose any life this time. I haven't bothered to read, like, the full document that the creator posted, but yeah, there's, like, a full document that details all the equipment, and it's, yeah, really detailed. That's what I was about to say. Guess I'll play this now. Archiving Vithmir, I'll just cast it. Looks like my opponent's already running short on cards. I'll just actually go draw 3 more since I can. Okay, sure. That is fine. Anyways, let's just go play a 5/5 for 3 mana. Okay, maybe not this turn. Okay, maybe not at all. No need. So yeah, as soon as I heard that somebody was actually going through the trouble to, first things first, construct decks for every single, like, new enemy in the game. It's gonna be, like, different opponents, so they're gonna all have, like, actual full-fledged commander decks. Yeah, I was, like, so stoked to hear that. It was in the works. What I totally didn't realize, though, is that she was also going to overhaul, like, several aspects of Adventure Mode, not just everybody having, like, commander decks. The creator kind of went, like, further beyond just simply giving everyone a commander deck. Yeah, as Fred here in chat said, like, the equipment's been, like, substantially overhauled. There's, like, a... Yeah, the whole system behind the equipment was, like, really overhauled. Equipment was both overhauled in Realm of Legends, and from what I've been reading from, like, the little bit of, like, the document on, like, how you play the game. The little bit of, like, the document that, like, that's, like, basically the guide for it. Yeah, the equipment's gonna be significantly more relevant. Yeah, like, most pieces of equipment are gonna give you, like, an extra sort of, like... Yeah, some give you, like, creatures, some give you, like, extra artifacts. Some give you lands, but most of the ones that give you lands also just make you start with, like, one less card in hand. Which, I guess, yeah, that's to balance out the fact you're starting, like, 1 mana up. So, like, thinking about it now, yeah, that's fair. Do I play 7th edition? Do I just start drafting cards from, like, I don't know, I think it was 2000, I think it might have been 2001. I think that was 2001. I could double check, but I'm like, 7th edition, yeah, that was long ago. I was in the mood to do at least, like, one booster draft still. Even if more likely than not, I'm probably not going to actually get around to even really playing with the cards. All of my decks are more or less, like, 99% finalized anyways. They're already, like, optimized enough to the point where most cards not really going to want to bother with playing them anymore. Yeah, the decks I have are so optimized now, it's, like, pretty much every, like, new card I'd even consider playing in them would have to be, like, really, really good for me to consider it. Oh yes, this was the title, 7th edition. I really want to see what I can get done with 7th edition anyways. What could I perhaps do with 7th edition cards? Honestly, because I just really want to see how a core set from, like... Yeah, 2001. I want to see how this plays out. I'm not trying to get to, like, 8 mana just to do 4... Well, 4 damage to any target is a good effect, but not at this cost. But, like, 8 mana to cast it, and then 8 mana every time I actually want to activate it. I don't know how to really take advantage of this in Limited, though, unfortunately. Just a simple, like, 2/2 flying creature. This one costs 1 more than the Windrake, but I could also destroy an enchantment? I guess if we need that. Change the target of target spell with a single target. 4 mana, that was kind of steep. Two damage to any target and then 3 damage to me. But even if I kill like 2 or 3 of my opponent's creatures with this, I'll still feel like I'm coming out like really ahead. That is assuming I even end up playing red in the first place. All creatures that come into play, not just my opponents. All creatures are black. I don't think we're doing anything with this unlimited. Destroy all islands. If I'm playing mostly blue, I can always just grab it so nobody plays this against me. So no one else runs it against me. Sulphurous Springs. I think I might already own this card anyways. More likely than that, I probably already own one. Flying and First Strike. This can just untap itself. Shock. If I want to play red, I'll be happy I took Shock. My creatures have haste. Yeah, that Sustainer of the Realm, I think that's just going to be a really good blocker for specifically this limited format. Thorn Elemental, Air Elemental, Counterspell. Picked up a lot of good blue cards already. Let's take another good blue card. I guess if maybe there ends up being like a problematic enchantment that I have to deal with. This thing can't block at all, apparently. Deflection again. Look into the opponent's hand. I mean, at least this thing does have flying. Additional combat phase. And now I gotta put a deck together. I might actually opt to play like 3 colors. I don't think it's... Yeah, because I don't think I've actually opted to play 3 colors unlimited for a while. I think it's really been a while since like I last opted to actually play 3 colors unlimited. So I think I might want to actually give this a go again. Unless I have like barely any good white cards, then I might just say screw it, do blue and red. So that's all my creatures. Well, I guess there's also Honor Guard and Merfolk the Pearl Trident. I guess also Grape Shot Catapult. Yeah, I definitely want to have at least 15 creatures in here. So if I were to do that, I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 white cards. All my creatures are white. Well, all my white cards are creatures. Tempted to, I don't know, just have like a perfectly balanced mix of the 3 colors I have so far. So now, just one more card has to come out of my deck here. I'm like, okay, maybe I can counter something, but it will likely have to be early in the game. Because the longer a game drags on for, the more likely the opponent's just gonna have like 1 mana to pay to pretty much blank this. Yep, 3 colors it is. I'm gonna try 3 colors here. This kind of feels like a gamble in the sense that it's entirely possible I just simply draw the wrong combination of lands and spells. 3 colors and literally no mana fixing. Literally no mana fixing to get me out of a situation where I just stumble on my different colors of mana. Elvish Champion, but how many elves does my opponent have? I still need one more mountain so I can cast this. And one more island so I can play this. Yeah, of course it's a 3-3. Grizzly bears. I'm not really worried about grizzly bears now. Counter spell, counter lightning blast. Force spike. He'll still have 3 more mana. He only needs to have 1 mana to stop force spike. Alright, so that, at least that Windrake is gone. Oh, I can now play Air Elemental. I guess unless that's gonna get countered too. Unsummon, return this to its owner's hand. No, don't block here. So one of these goes into my hand. Let me put this back. Grizzly bears. That's fine. Island. I guess I'll get rid of that grizzly bears as well. For each enchantment in play. Not really seeing any enchantments anywhere. But I'm still gonna, I'll just counter it anyways. Not really sure what else I should be doing at this point. I mean, this has already just killed, like, 5 of my opponent's creatures. Over the course of a long game, with my opponent having, like, no answer to this, and this just killing 5 of my opponent's creatures. So what if I'm at only 5 life? I mean, I knew that was coming. I knew that was gonna be recast. Oh, and a grizzly bears. Okay, it's gonna fly until end of turn. +7/+7 until end of turn. Oof. And of course he has 2 untapped lands, so Force Spike, he can just pay the 1, of course. Now, how am I supposed to stop this? How am I gonna stop this thing now? How am I gonna stop this thing now if I don't have any other flyers? Let's go around. Okay, so clearly I'm not the only one who's low on life. Unblockable creature. No, I'm gonna kill that. Alright, now I can't have this kill anything anymore without it also killing myself, too. something with first strike, but only 2 power. Against 2 creatures with 3 toughness, that ain't really gonna do anything. One damage to target creature with flying. Just 1 damage is apparently all it can do. I'm just surprised he's not just turning this into a flying creature and killing me with it. At this point, he hasn't even thought to try that. Giant spider. Anyways, I still just cannot attack through this board whatsoever. Maybe if this had like more than 2 power, it could actually do something. Or if these creatures had like not, or if maybe not every single creature here had 3+ toughness. Don't even know why I'm bothering to drag this on it. Don't even know why I'm bothering to drag this out any further. I'm gonna bring that deflection in, actually, and... yeah, I think this thing's gonna come out. I don't know, maybe deflection could actually line up really nicely with one of my opponent's spells. I mean, I'm thinking this way, I already have so many lands in my hand. Should be less likely to draw even more lands, but... yeah. I'm gonna go at least several turns without having anything to go cast. Shouldn't be drawing even more lands, but I guess I still am. Okay, I think I'll counter the 3/3. Unsummon. Okay, I guess. I'll just recast it. Yeah, I already have 7 lands. Okay, there's the golem that can fly again. Change the target of target's spell with a single target. Or he's just gonna play something that literally can't be blocked instead. This is the only thing that's attacking, right? And I know I cannot block it anyways. I'm getting, like, mana flooded here, simply put. Yeah, now I'm suddenly drawing too many lands and just not enough spells. I mean, at least I can kill some creatures here, right? Prodigal Sorcerer. Okay, then again, I can't get rid of everything. I cannot get rid of all of them, so I'm gonna just get kicked out on the first. I'm just gonna get kicked out in the first round. Yeah, sometimes that's just how it goes, I guess. I got one booster pack. I turned like 3,000 gold into one booster pack. Might Evokes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's the card I lost to in the first round. That's what I lost to in the first game. Search for any goblin card if I want to play a goblin deck, but at this point, it's not really happening. All 10 of my deck slots have been full for who knows how long at this point. Okay, cave with a bunch of snakes in it, it looks like. Things should be much easier because, yeah, back to my own deck now. Back to playing my deck. Alright, Baleful Strix, draw a card, and pass. Everything's got Death Touch. Everything's a snake. I don't know why I'm surprised. I don't know why I'm surprised to see a snake playing a bunch of snakes. I mean, should be a gimme. That's exactly what I should be expecting. Trample and Infect, and +1/+1 until end of turn. Infect until end of turn. I'm just going to get 5 poison counters. This shouldn't be a problem unless I get another 5 poison counters, then I just die on the spot. I know exactly what I'm gonna bring back. Intuition. This is just gonna get better and better. I'm just gonna steal his Cobra. Anyways, easy enough. Yeah, when I start like a brand new like playthrough of Magic the Gathering, my collection's pretty much gonna be, I'll pretty much be starting at almost 0 again, and then we'll actually have a little bit more of a challenge on our hands, trying to build our collection back up. And then it'll actually be fun again to just find new cards when we'll actually be looking for them, because then we'd actually be looking for new cards again. Here it's like, anyways. Here it's like, I don't really care that much anymore about new cards. My decks are already like super optimized. Yeah, these are already like really good decks I have. Okay, but it has to level up to level 8 to actually have protection from everything. One mana snake that could have protection from everything, but there's a catch. It doesn't start off that way. It would be beyond broken if it started off like that. I mean, especially if it also had, like, the 6 power, 6 toughness immediately, too. Snake levels up Hex Drinker. Let's just source the Plowshares, like, right now before it becomes a problem. We still have to sink a bunch of mana to it before it becomes a problem. Let's put this Astral Dragon in the graveyard. Yeah, I'll let both of these hit me. Interesting. Mana Leak. I'll just counter it with Mana Leak. I do not have Delirium just yet. Ancestral Recall, that is amazing. I'm just gonna cast it like right now in the middle of combat. See what we find. Not a monocolor permanent. It's colorless in its current state, so of course this is not gonna work on it. Again, let them both hit me. Nemesis of Mortals. I'll get rid of that. Alright, I'm gonna cast... Actually... First, I want to check to see what's in my graveyard. Just... I still don't have Delirium, I was just checking to see if I did. If I just play Hinted Turok just to get in my graveyard, then... Okay, but now I don't have, like, another black mana to spare, so never mind. Or just exile everything from my graveyard anyways, just so I can draw, like, 3 cards for 1 mana, and still. I can probably at least do something with that, surely now. We just drew 3 more cards anyway, so we should be able to do something with this. Okay, now I can bring something back. I think I'll just steal one of the lands. Or I can steal this 1/1. Anyways. Doesn't matter what I steal from him at that point. Oh. There's that card that I just bought with... There's that card I bought through the smith earlier for Animar. Because, yeah, I have a copy of Fastbond, which... I mean, of course, Fastbond. If I get to play it, let's play it. It's absolutely broken. So let's give that a try. That card is absolutely busted. Play as many lands as you want per turn, and it's a 1-mana enchantment that lets you do this. Isn't there something like crazy good on the back of this? Even the ETB ability is pretty powerful. Even though front face to this is really strong. So bare minimum, there's 2 players in a game, so I get at least 2 free spells with this just by having it enter the battlefield. And if I get to like 10 mana or just 9 mana, pay 2 life, transform it. 11/11, trample indestructible, and that's basically infect, but not exactly infect. Yeah, if this attacks into an empty board, the opponent just dies on the spot. 11 poison counters, yeah, that's just instant death. If I really needed something to hate on green and white that badly, this would have been a decent card to play against green and white decks. Especially ones that like to swarm the board with like small, but like, yeah, lots of creatures. Yeah, swarm decks that, yeah, play small creatures, but they play lots of them. That would have been like a decent pick to deal with, specifically green and white. All green and white creatures get -3/-3 until end of turn for just 3 mana. That would have been a solid play against those 2 aforementioned colors. If I didn't already have pretty much everything I needed anyways. Did I just screw myself and leave myself with only white and black mana? Ooh, Sol Ring. Currently don't have anything to actually cast. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. Let me just actually see what this does. I can just bring this thing back with Dance of the Dead anyways, it's fine. Whenever one or more creatures you control with flying deal combat damage to a player this turn, look at that player's hand and draw a card. Mistraven, returning what back to my hand? Or I just counter it so nothing gets bounced. Except ideally I want to get this in the graveyard now, and okay, Raffine can just put it in the graveyard easily. You may put a card you own from outside the game on top of your library. Does the Raven even have any cards outside the game to put on top? Or no? I didn't see his deck size increase, so... doesn't look like it. Why target something? Why target the creature with Ward 1 if you can't pay the cost for it? I don't get it. At that point, I just don't understand why. Graven Archfiend. What does this do? You may sacrifice a non-demon creature. If you did, conjure a card named Demonic Pact onto the battlefield. Isn't that the card with like 4 different things you can do during your upkeep? Right, you have to pick one that wasn't chosen, and one of them is you lose the game. I think it's like a enchantment with like, yeah, 3 really powerful effects. You can get like 1 on each of your upkeeps, and then the 4th one is just you lose. So unless you can get rid of it in like 3 turns, it just kills you. Oh, another Felithar. What does this Felithar do? Sacrifice a non-land permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control every time it attacks or when it enters the battlefield. I didn't know that Felithar existed. Are these like zoos or something? Lion's dens. Oh no, could kind of looked like it could have been like a lion zoo on the. Yeah, from outside it looked like a petting zoo for lions. Okay, no one would pet lions. What am I saying? No one in the right mind would just go pet a lion. I don't know what the hell I'm saying here. Okay, he should play this and has to put Silvercoat Lion back into his hand to play this. Sure, why not? Alright, so do I just start putting as many creatures as possible into my graveyard just to, like, land a really big living death? Cub Warden. Okay. I'm actually gonna put Rafina in the graveyard. Because I'm not expecting Living Death to be countered or anything. I was just looking for my intuition. Because I was unable to untap an extra land because of this right here. Untap a land for free, I can just get up to 3 mana and cast this thing. And now just resolve a nice living death. At that point, all that's left is just steal one of his lands. Alright, pass turn. And this should probably just kill my opponent on the spot. Oh, I'm pretty sure this was like the lion that... Yeah. Okay, so finally I have the Jamaran lion in English. Okay, Okay, so yeah, now that means I actually know what this does. Can just tap it to make a creature unable to block this turn. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was like the card that for some reason I got in German on one of my other playthroughs of this. Just simple, like, target creature can't block this turn. Interesting. Actually pretty good. Actually pretty good enchantment, all things considered. Oh, I already have Languish. Yeah, if my commander maybe had like 1 extra point of toughness or something, or if I just simply attack and then discard any non-land card and then she connives just for like 1+1/+1 counter, then yeah, then my commander can survive Languish. Just gotta get 1 counter on the commander. And with that, I'm just gonna leave the Lion's Den, and looks like I'm gonna go straight into another Lion's Den. Leonin Sphinx, or something different. Or we're gonna go someplace different. Solitude? That's good. That is a really nice mythic. If I ever wanted to play a deck that just does as... Well, if I ever want to play like a life gain deck. Or return creature cards and mana value 1 from my graveyard to the battlefield, but I'm thinking like... maybe play this in a deck with a commander that has like some really good life gain triggers. Yeah, that Solitude is definitely a welcome addition to my collection. Was definitely not expecting the Solitude, but very welcome to... yeah, very welcome addition to the collection there, for sure. Yeah, we will try this. I think for now I can just ignore this entirely. Mox Jet, not bad. I'll make 2 1/1s. Then I will just pass it on back. I'm gonna let this hit me. Mystical Tutor into Ancestral Recall. Cast the commander. Draw 3, discard 3. Play the land for turn. And I'll pass. And at this point, just basically end the game. Sort of sinew and steel. Protection from black and from red. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, destroy up to one target planeswalker and up to one target artifact. Not gonna lie, I really wish the combat damage trigger was better than this. I don't really see planeswalkers all that often, for one thing. You don't see a lot of these. Also, not a guarantee your opponent's gonna have artifacts lying around either. But anyways, just side that in against anybody playing black and red, or either of those colors, and they're still probably gonna have a really bad time. Was this guy have to say to me? I see you're here to look at some of our fine birds. You must be pretty smart to come to us, since our prices are indeed unmatched compared to those of other sellers in Chandalar. Selling birds. But I don't think there's going to be any place where I can actually buy them. If anyone without permission enters the area, they will be reprimanded by the various guards, and even the birds who have been trained to attack unwanted intruders. Even the birds, you say. This weird-looking dude. What is he supposed to be exactly, this squid-looking guy here? Hairy guard. Keep hand. I guess I'll start with Psychic Frog. Exile Psychic Frog. Yeah, this way I can just get Agent of Treachery into my graveyard. Swamp. I can mill 39 cards. I could literally just spend an entire turn to mill 39 cards from my deck. I have some good stuff with Flashback. Lingering Souls. Unburial Rites could also potentially be in here as well. I definitely have some creatures worth bringing back. Imagine if I had Living Death for the turn after. Alright, let's actually cast my commander. Actually put something on the field here. And then hit the Turok and make him discard some cards. Animate Dead. And because I just put like 39 cards from my deck into my graveyard, I have, yeah, plenty of good targets in here. But I'm just gonna go with my best one. Swan Song. Counter Animate Dead. Alright, never mind. I was gonna go with, yeah, my best target by far. Looks like that isn't happening now. Yeah, that's gonna resolve. I guess just to slow my opponent down a bit. And just because I can, let's just put another creature on the battlefield. I'll let these hit me for a total of 2. It's literally just all lands I'm finding. It's just all lands here, apparently. I'll sacrifice this one because I can do so to draw a card. Draw into something that'll just, yeah, draw into some removal. I'll just use it immediately. Wrath of God. Okay, so my opponent's actually gonna wipe the board here. Recast my commander. Okay. Intuition. Let's see what I can get into my hand with this. How many other spells do I still have in my deck that can just bring a creature back from the graveyard? How many other ones do I have? Guaranteed to get one of them. Of course, let's get the one that costs 5 mana. I'll get the one that costs 5. I can just cast this from my graveyard anyways for 4, so it's fine. I guess it's okay if I discard this. So let me go scroll all the way down to where Unburial Rites is. And this time it's gonna actually go through. Choose any number of creatures with different powers. Those creatures gain double strike until end of turn. So, apparently just this one. Preordain. I think I'll take the Diabolic Intent into my hand. Despite the fact that I don't really have anything I want to sacrifice at the moment. Pay 7 life, draw 7 cards. Exile this card from your graveyard. Create a token copy that attacks that opponent this turn if able. Just block it with the 2/5. I have, like, what, only 11 cards on my deck, so at this point, it's like... Don't really think I'm gonna be able to get anything that good off a Tainted Pact at this point. Clearly, I'm not going to need it either. With so few cards left in my deck. No point really searching for anything anymore. Oh, there's Sarah. There's my Sarah Aviary. Do not touch the bird. You are trespassing. Go behind the barrier. Don't make them call the guard. Which barrier? So if I go here... Yeah, I think this hand looks very playable. So yeah, now we're dealing with vultures apparently. I'm gonna play we'll just play Sol Ring. Preordain. 2 lands, we'll just put them on the bottom at this point. I'm gonna try this again. Space-time anomaly myself. I want to see what's I do want to see what's in my graveyard now. Again, I just put 40 cards into my graveyard. Might as well see what's exactly, like, in there. Let's see exactly what's in there now. I'll just exile this with Source of Plowshares. Don't mind me. Perfect. Bring back Griselbrand. And then, yeah, that's exactly why I'm targeting myself with that Space-Time Anomaly. Precisely why I'm milling myself. And let's just draw 7 more cards. Living Death. Granted, yeah, I ideally want to get Griselbrand back in the graveyard. Yeah, casting Living Death right now would simply be hilarious. Let's just gain some life first, I guess, and then cast this. All of this is going to come back onto the battlefield. Select target, okay, select a non-creature permanent. Alright, island. Oh yeah, Astral Dragon. Project Image. Choose 2 cards to discard. At this point, I really don't believe it matters what we discard. Yeah, he's not getting out of this. Mana Leak. Can I just attack with everything already? Okay, so there's just more of the tower here. If I run through here, yeah, I can take some more treasure. It's all birds, unsurprisingly. It just seems to be all birds here. Not really surprising. Yep, this is gonna attack me too, on sight. Kingfisher. When Kingfisher dies, draw a card. Is this guy's kitchen? This guy even has a kitchen in here? Alright. Mulligan. Not a single land in there. This I can at least swamp cycle, so it might not be that bad. Yeah, we're gonna swamp cycle immediately here. Alright, at least I should be able to get some extra cards off of Dark Confidant here. Ledger Shredder. All around, pretty good card. It's a pretty solid card all around. Okay, there's my third land drop. Obviously, I'm not attacking into Ledger Shredder here. What kids? I'm gonna lose 8 life. Okay, anyways, at least I still have Gristlebrand in my graveyard. Now, ideally, Ideally, also go find something to revive it. What does this do? Alright, so I'm gonna get attacked by both of these birds. I have 1 open mana, so let's use it. Not losing any life, at least. His graveyard's actually completely empty. Swing with both of these. Anyways. Okay, that actually just makes things even better. We're gonna just play another Living Death here. And yeah, just the slaughter continues. Blood of the Martyr. For the remainder of the turn, you may redirect damage done to any number of creatures to yourself instead. Except for creatures named Akron Legionnaire and artifact creatures. Creatures you control can't attack. That's just terribly underpowered. I mean, yeah, 8/4, that's a big creature. That was a really big creature back in the day, but also it costs like equally as much mana, and then your other creatures can't even attack. I guess maybe except if you play a bunch of artifact creatures, but your other creatures can't attack? Isn't the fact that it costs 8 mana already like a harsh enough restriction in itself? Apparently not. Strange magical energies flow within this place. All opponents get favorable winds. There's even like a laboratory with like a brain on the table up here. There's even a laboratory here as well. If a source would deal damage to Swans of Bryn Argol, prevent that damage. The source's controller draws cards equal to the damage prevented this way. I can apparently just choose to not fight anybody on this floor. And I can just help myself to all the treasure that's on the top floor at this point, if I want. Tarmogoyf. Yeah, 2026, I don't really see people playing Tarmogoyf anymore. How the mighty have fallen. Yeah, but back in the day, like, you probably would have shit yourself if you just pulled this in a pack. How the mighty have fallen. Nowadays, I think you can literally just get, like, a Tarmogoyf for, like, something like $10. Yeah, back when I, like, got into the game, copies were going for, like, at least $100, and they actually peaked at, like, 200 a copy, I'm pretty sure. Now it's like, the creatures have just gotten even more insanely powerful since Tarmogoyf. The average creature has just gotten, like, even stronger since his heyday. Bitter Blossom. Oh. I got my Bitter Blossom back. Because I have my Bitter Blossom back now. That is if I even want to play it. So let me save my game. What is this dungeon we got over here? Okay, that looks like a Phyrexian Eleshnorn Basilica. Yeah, it looks distinctly like Phyrexian. Mulligan. I actually need lands to do stuff, so... Here I should have enough. Okay. Okay, let's play a land. As long as it's your turn. So, while it's my turn, this thing won't have first strike. Supreme Verdict. I'm gonna lose 4 life. Yeah, I'm putting that in the graveyard. And I could just immediately bring it back if I want. I'm just gonna immediately put it back. Alright, so we're gonna attack for 7 here. Gain 7 life. And then I could, and I will actually just draw 7 cards. I'll cast my commander. Discard 4 cards. gonna keep one land. Gonna let it resolve. Okay, so I only lose 3 life off of this here. Alright, let's gain 8 more life. Charge of the Might deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker. So that would be 4 damage? In response, I can just get rid of one of my opponent's creatures. Yeah, remove one of the creatures in response. To make it only 3 damage. I'm just gonna Alpha Strike at this point. Let me just go take my treasure and then leave. That's pretty solid. All-around solid creature, especially if you know you're playing against black and or green. The Destined Warrior. What does this do exactly? I've never seen this before. What does this do? Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, and Wizard spells cost 1 less to cast. If you have a full party. Was that like you have like one of each of Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, and Wizard or something? I think this was like a Zendikar Rising mechanic. You had to control like one of each of these like specific creature types to have a full party. I think it's those 4. Anyways, not the most exciting, but okay, this just looks like another monastery. I've seen probably at least like a couple, at least like almost a dozen of these by now. A Pharaoh's Fort. Okay, I guess that spellbook is not free for the taking. Just gonna get jumped by a scarab that's hiding in the sand. Anyways, this should be, yeah. Yeah, he wants to duel me, so he's gonna get his wish. And he wants to duel me, so be it. Okay, it's just a 1/4 with no abilities. nest of scarabs. I'm just assuming this guy is gonna have ways to put -1/-1 counters on my creatures, otherwise why bother playing this? Okay, could we actually find another land card or something? Not just stay stuck on 3 lands here? I mean, if all I have to deal with are Doom Beetles, I should be fine anyways. I should be able to just simply handle a few Doom Beetles. I'm gonna just go and flashback the Lingering Souls that's now in my graveyard. Torment of Scarabs. Okay, every upkeep I have to sacrifice a non-land permanent, discard a card, or lose 3 life. I'll just lose 3 life. Just attack with everything we have. Anything good in here? Wall of 1,000 cuts? That's not half bad. Astral Drift. Pick up the shards and so I got some mummies walking around. I guess let's fight one of them. Yeah, it's still just absolutely wild to think. Like, nearly every creature type, like, every, like, in-game, like, pretty much, like, just about feels like every creature type in the game, more or less. Almost all of them. There's, like, one of them walking around in this Forge Magic the Gathering fan game here that's playing, like, an on-theme deck. It's just absolutely mind-boggling to think. Like, wow. Like, how much work must have gone into, like, just, I don't know, making all these decks. Just drawing and animating all of these sprites. For me to pretty much just, like, demolish them in a matter of minutes. I'm just gonna Mystical Tutor into Ancestral Recall here. Still not going to draw into a land that can produce black just yet, so for now, so I suppose we'll just have to hang tight. Guess I'll just make some spirit tokens, because it's all I can really do at the moment. Play land, Fellmire, pay 3 life. Now I actually have my 3rd color. Final reward, exile target creature. 5 mana to exile something. I'm gonna let all that hit me. I guess I'll just cast Dark Confident here. Alright, pass turn. Alright, I can just tap my stuff down. Yeah, still stuck on 4 lands here. Anyways, I have to do something. And apparently I really can't do a whole lot of anything at the moment. Maybe I can do a little bit more now, but still. I don't know. I'll flash back the Lingering Souls now that I'm actually able to do this. I'm going to counter that. Compulsory rest. I'll take 4 more damage. That's a pretty nice draw. Return a creature from graveyard to hand. Sure. Everything's attacking me. Unsurprisingly. So yeah, let's see who I'm blocking. I'm blocking the one that can just tap down my stuff. Okay, I still beat him. I had to go all the way down to 8 life because I just had so much trouble getting like anything on the board for most of that game. A Scorpion also coming out of nowhere. No lands. My opponent has no lands, apparently. Two turns in a row, not a single land drop. Now 3 turns in a row. Yeah, considering I'm attacking into a completely empty board. Oh no, I lost 8 life. Big whoop. Yeah, if there's even any spells to counter at this point. I almost feel bad for, like, playing another land at this point. Honestly, I'm just wasting his time making, like, pick cards. He didn't play not even a land. My opponent did not play a single card. He literally did not play a single card all game. I've never seen that. I don't think I've seen that. Not even a land card, like absolutely nothing. I'll see if maybe this Sandworm actually can play lands. Yep. That's more or less par for the course. I'm gonna play a Buried Alive here. Put 3 creature cards into my graveyard. Pass turn. Okay, this just also searches for a basic land card. Basically Rampant Growth, but with cycling. Actually, we'll hold on to that intuition. This just gets better and better. Oh, and then there's Dance of the Dead. Well, I'll just bring back Griselbrand right now. And pass. Roar of the Worm. I'll just counter it. I'll give him a bird. Alright, yep, here's a bird. Now, if I really want to draw 7 more cards, I can totally do that. Spined Worm. Mana Leak. Because I can. Alright, just draw 7 more cards. Even though at this point it's completely irrelevant that we did that. -2/-2 as long as white is the most common color among permanents on the battlefield. I guess 5/5 for 6 with first strike, and it still needs to have a drawback. During your upkeep, sacrifice a forest, or you take 7 damage. Every upkeep, sacrifice a forest or take 7 damage. If you sacrifice a snow-covered forest in this way, Gargantuan Gorilla gains trample until end of turn. Tap. Gargantuan Gorilla deals an amount of damage equal to its power to any other target creature. That creature deals damage equal to its... Okay, so basically fights another target creature. And we'll probably just kill like 99% of creatures on the battlefield because it's a 7/7. Yeah, like sacrifice a forest every single upkeep. It already costs 7 mana. Why do I need to sacrifice forests now too? I've already paid 7 for this. Why do I also need to sacrifice forests? Unless I've either lowered the cost on it somehow, or just discarded it to my graveyard and played something like Reanimate to get it out of the graveyard for far less than 7 mana. Why do I also need to sacrifice forests to this thing? Just to keep it from killing me. Something to do with shrines. For each legendary enchantment you control, create a 1/1. This token can't block or be blocked by non-spirit creatures. I don't think I'm playing 5-color shrines anytime soon. All white creatures gain Planeswalk, including your opponents. You're probably going to be playing planes anyways to make white mana, so you gotta just hope your opponent's not also playing white when you play, if you even like want to play this. Wait, but you want your opponent to actually be playing white, to be playing planes, for your Planeswalk to matter. But your opponent's creatures can also just, like, attack you and you can't do shit to block them either because you're also playing planes to play white to play. You're also, like, needing, like, 3 white mana, so... Unless you just do, like, all non-basic lands or something. I don't know, first things first, I don't want to spend 6 mana for an effect that's not even close to being worth 6 mana. Especially if it can also help your opponent out, too. First things first, I'm not getting my mana's worth at all from that. Okay. Yeah, we'll try this hand. I want to keep that land exactly where it is. Yeah, absolutely should grab something that can make blue. Oh, he's playing Reanimate too? Alright, so, yep. That's just gonna backfire. Yeah, my discard this troll to go and swamp cycle. That's gonna blow up. That almost backfired. Yeah, just getting into the graveyard to resurrect it, that's my idea. And it almost just completely backfired. That's supposed to be my trick. Protection from white and from black. And a bunch of cool things you can do with its activated abilities. Anyways, I'll just draw 3 cards. Play my Reanimate. At that point, not sure what else I'm supposed to do here, really. Anyways. Cast my commander. Discard a card. I cannot block. Another one of these pro-white, pro-black creatures. I could just copy one of them. At this point, like, what else am I supposed to copy with Phantasmal Image over here? What else do you really want me to do at this point? Demonic Tutor, so that's pretty nice. Anyways, what would be the best thing to grab off of one of these now, anyways? any card in my deck, and I'm just like, okay, which card should it be? Do I just attempt to set up my graveyard with as many cards as possible with Space-Time Anomaly? I'll have to wait till next turn to even attempt to cast it. Can't block them, so yeah. Just have to let them through. Space-Time Anomaly myself. And then from there, I think I should try and just do a Living Death. Swing with just this. Alright, I'll untap that. Don't mind if I do. This is a colorless source, so this should work. Alright, Living Death it is. I just put, like, more than, like... I just put, like, 40% of my deck into my graveyard, so there should be a bunch of really good creatures in that pile of 40 cards. All those, whatever creatures are in here, are gonna come back onto the battlefield. There were only 4 of them, apparently. My strongest one is apparently Eagles of the North here. Whenever a Blood Artist or another creature dies, target player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Four creatures, apparently that was the best I can do. Apparently this was the best I could do. I forgot about the first strike. Is there even anything in here to bring back? Probably not. Okay, there is, but nothing worth... Not really worth it, though. I'll just take all of his creatures out of his graveyard. Okay, I guess I'm not attacking. He'll just play another one. Alright, let's send in everything. Okay, there's Griselbrand. Among some other creatures. Sure. Okay, now we'll do Stitch together, putting Griselbrand back on the field. Thinking maybe finally now I'll have him right where I want him. For each each creature card milled this way, you create a 2/2. Each player mills 3 cards. X is 3. For each creature milled this way, this guy's gonna make a zombie token. Okay, he got 1. Alright, let's gain 7 life. Nothing else to really... Unless I want to counter something. Timeless Dragon. Interesting. Exile the Timeless Dragon with the Vanishing Verse I just top-decked. And end the game. Oh, like a new variant of Swords to Plowshares. I'll keep that. That'll keep. It's a pretty nice looking Swords to Plowshares, I'll take it. Each player draws a card for each creature in their graveyard. Other dinosaurs, and it's a 5/4 for 3 mana. Wow. 5/4 for 3 mana, and the text box is all upside. Yeah, creatures have come a long way. Let me just tell you. Yeah, just compare and contrast this to, for example, the Akron Legionnaire. It had, like, yeah, 3 more power than this, but we're talking about an 8 mana creature whose text box is all downside. 8 power, but no, like, keyword abilities that grant him evasion of any sort. Not even trample. So yeah, block that 8/4 with a tiny 1/1 and, like, no damage goes through. And yeah, like, the person with, like, the 1/1 that just jump blocks, no damage goes through. And yeah, these days... Yeah, creatures in the rare slot often look like this. 5/4 for 3 mana. And it's like, yeah, creatures have come a long way. Is that a giant bird's nest? Yeah, it looks like a giant bird nest over there. I guess we'll probably be visiting the bird nest real soon. Is that a Japanese angel? Yeah, I think it is. Opponents can't cast spells during my turn. 1/3 that also comes with 2 1/1s every time it attacks. It's only 2, but yeah, like... This is not really something I just really see the computers do, play a bunch of spells during my turn, but yeah, competitive Magic, especially against the blue deck that just loves to have mana up for counter Magic. This kind of just shuts that avenue of play down entirely. And the 2 extra attacking bodies is also pretty nice. Yeah, plus the 2 attacking bodies, so you're going in for like 3 damage every time that swings. Also, you gotta love the fact that it's also 3 toughness. Yeah, very, very playable card right here. I'm like, okay, I don't think I actually need Sol Ring too badly here. not really using this that much, so I think I'll just... At that point, I think I'm honestly just gonna cut the Astral Dragon and maybe, just to be on the safe side, just so I'm a little bit less likely to get mana screwed, to put in another land, or even just even maybe just put a Lotus Petal in. Would be overall safer to put in just a land. Because that Lotus Petal's good for like one turn only. Or I could also just play the Solitude that I have. I think I'll cut like one of my random like non-creature spells that just remove something and put Solitude in. I'd cut this if there wasn't also a land on the back. I mean, Dismember's a really, really good piece of removal. I'm thinking, like, yeah, something has to go. And I can always just put this back into my deck if I change my mind anyways. Are we gonna hit 100,000 gold? Before I end the stream, I think we're gonna hit 100,000 gold. And at the rate we're going, probably not actually ever spend any of it. Yeah, this is literally like a bird's nest, isn't it? I don't know, I want to see if I can maybe... Is it possible I'm gonna find a boss fight somewhere in the plains? Did any bosses spawn here after, like, doing the 5 castles? That's also kind of, like, what I'm wondering. That's just another monastery. Done, like, a couple of those already. And I know I've done some definitely in my first Forge Adventure playthrough. I've definitely done some monasteries. Yeah, that was kind of just like another cave. Also another cave, right? I can always just take a peek inside. Probably like the smallest cave imaginable. Another one of these, another one of such caves. Another bird nest. I'm not expecting to find any boss fights in the bird nest. Another monastery. It just looks like yet another monastery. Probably another one here, too. Yep, another one here as well. When you control no enchantments, sacrifice Tethered Griffin. I mean, otherwise you get a 2/3 flyer if you can keep that thing around. For 1 mana, 2/3 flyer, that's a really good body. That's just assuming you can keep that around, that is. Assuming you're actually playing a decent amount of enchantments to keep that around, and, like, it doesn't also just compromise the rest of your deck as well. Assuming, yeah, you can just work, like, a lot of enchantments into your game plan. Typically not really something I try to do. Okay, exile Malcolm, I gain 2 life. Alright, True Name Nemesis, protection from my opponent. Alright, Archfiend of Ifnir it is. Oh wow. Can bring that back next turn once I have mana for it. And then the game will pretty much just be over at this point. Especially if you're just not able to, especially if my opponent can't even draw any more lands. The game is definitely going to be over at this point. In fact, yeah, it's already going to end this turn. During your draw phase, reveal the first card you draw to all players. If that card is a basic land, draw a card. And there's just better ways to get card advantage turn after turn than this. I mean, yeah, to be fair, this was printed back in 1996, 1997. Let me guess, another monastery? Yep, just of a different variety. Oh, what is this over here? This temple looks different. There's a dungeon that at least looks different from all the other ones I've seen. I've just been seeing, like, monastery after monastery as of late. Just almost like nothing but monasteries, as far as the eye can see. Alright, so we're gonna do Swamp and Tomb. Pass. Now, a way to just get that onto the battlefield would be excellent. Okay. I guess if I just kill that now. So that the angel spells my opponent has no longer cast, like, 2 less to cast. The angel will play another, that's fine. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may exile target non-land permanent. I'm gonna just exile that before it starts to become a problem. Well, now I have like so many cards in my graveyard, I can just do a treasure cruise for 1 mana and draw 3. Alright, let's just delve 7 cards at this point. Alright, let's refill my hand, sort of. Exile all cards from target player's graveyard. Obviously, target me. That would be the smart thing to do. Alright, so... yeah, now I can't really bring Griselbrand back from the graveyard if it's not in the graveyard anymore. It's no longer in the graveyard, so that will not quite work anymore. Sure. Alright, Mystical Tutor. Yeah, board wipe that only affects my opponent. Alright, just attack into an empty board. So we've got some pretty nice cards here. None of which I'm gonna play because I'm already super happy with the decks I have. Jin-Gitaxias. Apparently, specifically, like, number 111 out of 500. And then the back just looks like... I think the back then just looks like the normal card. The front is the serialized version. The back is just like the regular version, it looks like. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, draw a card. Transform into the backside only if you have 7 or more cards in hand. And then you'll just draw like 7 cards the moment you do that, at least. You may cast any number of spells from your hand without paying their mana costs. Exile the Great Synthesis, then return to the battlefield front face up again. Wow, okay. That's another way to just get creatures out of my graveyard, but I have to pay a bunch of, well, 4 mana just to have this thing on the battlefield. Then 2 mana, and then pay 2 life, and then even sacrifice a swamp. Depending on, like, what I bring back, just bringing back 1 creature might already be enough to win the game anyways. And I can do that for far less than what it takes to do just 1 Strands of Night activation. Oh, there's Sustainer of the Realm. Again. Mother of Runes, which still I already own, so no sense in keeping another one. What have I found over here? Nahiri's encampment. That sounds like a planeswalker. Let's actually take a closer look inside. Let's take a closer look. Nahiri's looking like it's gonna be pretty well guarded, so he might be here for a while. Looks to be well guarded. Okay, so it just flies. I still have 2 more lands in my hand I can draw into anyways, it's fine. Just play the Baleful Strix and pass. He produced black, white, then blue, and now I should be able to play my commander. I will actually, yeah, I will attack. So, what ability did it gain? What icon does this helmet represent here? It's not flying. Which of these, like, many abilities that it could have possibly gained? What did it actually gain? Opponent can't cast spells during my turn anymore. Skyclave, exiling, yep, that checks out. So I can just resolve the mobilize. I have both these attack triggers on the stack. Resolve first. The attack trigger that puts more guys on the board, I think I should resolve that first. Okay. I still have to select the attacking creature, and then I make the warriors, and then this effect kicks in. So if I resolve this trigger first, then Rafine's gonna count these attacking creatures as well for the connive. I was like, okay, these both go off at the same time. So if I resolve this one first, then this should also just count these as attacking creatures. This should let me just get, like, extra draws and discards just by playing Voice of Victory with Rafine, and yep, that's exactly what happened. So which 4 cards are we discarding? I still have at least 1 card that can reanimate something, so it's fine. Okay, gains 4 life. Tainted Pact. I could have maybe just grabbed the Intuition. I already have something that brings a creature back from the graveyard, so I don't need an Animate Dead here. That would be, like, at least decent, I suppose. Get that into the graveyard just by Rafine attacking. And then I can easily just reanimate it. Space-time anomaly, that's hilarious. I probably now have an even better target to revive. Now that I just milled 36 more cards. Actually, you know what? We'll just do Solitude. Alright, let's just attack with a bunch of creatures here, in fact. I'm gonna get this frog flying just by exiling my fetches that I don't need anymore. Just seeing where all the blocking is going on right now. Alright, we made a decent dent in their board. Okay. Whenever a equipped creature attacks, the player with the most life or tied for most life, create a 4/4 white angel creature token that's tapped and attacking that player. Or, I guess, don't. Discard 8 cards. Sure, after drawing 8 cards, I guess. And there we go. That was only the first core warrior in here we fought? That was only the first one? Oh wow, Embercleave. And Stoneforge Mystic. 2, like, really good cards in here. Champion of the Weird. Yeah, Embercleave. Just one-shot your opponent out of nowhere. If you have, like, 4 attacking creatures, you can cast this for, like, just 2 mana. Pretty much just, like, kill your opponent out of nowhere with this. +1/+1 double strike trample. Oh, that's Nahiri already? Thought I was gonna have to do some more exploration. I thought I was gonna have, like, more, like... I thought we were gonna have, like, a big tower we actually need to start climbing up or something. No, it's just Nahiri right here. Equip costs, Nahiri pays cost 1 less. At the beginning of her upkeep, or whenever one of her equipped creatures attacks, conjures a card from Nahiri's spellbook into her hand. And every end step she creates a 1/1 token. I do like my hand already, so let's play this. I like my hand already. Plateau. Ancestral Recall. Entomb. Put Gristlebrand in here. Pass. Alright, I'll take 1 damage, it's fine. Cast the commander. Lizard blades? What the hell is this? Interesting. Just gonna cast it, I suppose, and that'll be it. Oh wow, okay. But first... Okay, set up my graveyard a bit. So I can Deadly Rollick something, I can Swift Reconfiguration something. I could even just evoke Solitude by exiling this, or even exile this to evoke a Solitude. That too is also a white card I could just pitch to Solitude. I have a lot of responses in my hand to whatever my opponent's gonna maybe do. Lizard Blades, attach the Core Soldier token. Swift Reconfiguration. In response, just gonna turn this into a vehicle. Swamp Cycling. I'll get a Scrubland. Play it. I can just flash that thing back anyways, that's good. It's all fine. Enchanted permanent can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Well, that resolves. I'll just Deadly Rollick this thing because I still at least do control my commander. It's just now, yeah. I'll have to attack with, like, other creatures. Flash back the Unburial Rites. Sword of the Realms. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has Vigilance. That's it. Nahiri's Binding attached to Grizzlebrand. In response, I'm going to draw 7 cards. This can just destroy it anyways. Anyways, sure, why not? Actually, I make a pilot token. Block one of her tokens with my pilot. Destroy the Nahiri's Binding with Witch Enchanter. And finally gain some life back. Alright, now I have all 3 of my Moxen out. Sure, why not? Alright, might as well just play a Psychic Frog because we can. I'll just, you know what, I'll take the Sword of the Realms for myself. I guess we can steal that too. Okay. Okay, so no attacks. I'm gonna just evoke Solitude. grab the Lingering Souls. I'll attack like this. At any rate, I don't think I need Living Death. At any point, I don't believe I need that. Okay, how many Inchblade companions are we even making here? What's going on anymore with these guys? What are these things even doing anymore? I guess before it's my turn, I'll just flash something else in. Alright, let's make 2 more tokens. Sacrifice one of them to Diabolic Intent, and then I can go grab whatever else I want. I think I still have something good in my graveyard to bring back anyways. Yep, that I do. I'm just gonna give my entire board +1/+0 on first strike. Alright, discard 7 cards. I guess if Nahiri even survives all this. Oh, it was just 1 game? I guess the boss fight wasn't even important enough that it was like a best 2 out of 3. Oh, I'm gonna get a second Wheel of Fortune. If I want to play, like, the newer border version now. Yeah, if I want to play, like, the version of Wheel of Fortune that looks like, yeah, a card would look like today. Nahiri's Armory. No clue what that does. I'd have to equip it to go and see. Also, some more treasure. Yuan Shao the Indecisive. Each of your creatures can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. And horsemanship. Yeah, that was surprisingly easy. $100,000 gold. And we still have, like... We're just like 1 card shy of having 900 cards in our collection. White creatures get +1/+1. There's like 1 deck I would probably put that in. Just a bunch of random cards here. Protection from all colors. Yeah, now we have 900 cards in our collection. It's still like, yeah, 100,000 plus gold. And honestly, don't really even feel like doing anything with it at this point. I would probably just continue to go bossing, but at this point, I don't know. I just feel like I've done just about everything I want to do specifically on this playthrough of Forge Adventure Mode. There was like the playthrough on Adventure Mode. The first one I did was just like standard, like... Apparently your deck can be as small as 40 cards. I just did like 60. I just did 60 anyways, as if it was like a typical constructed format. That one was also like kind of a long-running like series I did on this channel. This Commander Mode one ended up lasting even longer. I mean, for one thing, probably because I built even more decks and just wanted to keep trying all of them. I built like 10 decks, and then that's how I figured out that you can only carry like 10 unique decks at once. I guess before I end the stream, because, well, I'll save. In the off chance I continue playing on this specific save file, I'm starting to really doubt I'm going to continue playing on this save file. I've already done so much on this save file, it's crazy. 40 unique streams. I'd say over the course of 40 days, but I'd definitely be lying. I wasn't playing this every single day for 40 days straight. It was like, I think over the past like 3 months or so. 40 of the days over like the past, like, say 90 or 100 days, give or take. So yeah, I still ended up just playing so much of this over the past 3 months on this save file. Yeah, roughly 40 days worth of gameplay, averaging about like 2 to 3 hours a day. Does it also show like how much time I spent playing, or does it only show stuff like my win-loss ratio? Does it have like time spent playing or no? If anything, I think most of my losses probably took most of my losses from like late game, post game bosses, if anything. Falcon-headed Aven Warrior. It's entirely possible maybe this was like some game I played against it in a booster draft. When did I lose to a Goblin Fanatic? I cannot remember when I lost to one of these. Okay, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I brought Rafik into my first match with Grolnok and lost to him. And lost to him there. He had, like, a boss effect that made all non-creature cards, like, creatures with power toughness each equal to their converted mana costs. Which basically made all my equipment useless. Rafika the Many, he's like, yeah. He's like the creature with, like, Exalted, and every time a creature attacks alone gets double strike. I like to build this deck with a lot of really good equipment with combat damage triggers. The equipment cannot do anything if it's stuck as a creature. I can't equip it to any creature. If the equipment itself is a creature, it can't be attached to anything, and it's basically useless. Bunch of my best cards, and they basically get shut down by the boss effect, so I'm like, no, I'm switching decks next time. I'm switching decks for this matchup. Emrakul, because, yeah, she's just straight up unfair. Especially since she got buffed to just be, like, even faster than she used to be. Even faster as in consistently playing stuff like... maybe even, like, the 15 mana Emrakul on turn 5. If that starts happening, like, just don't even bother. Yeah, once she starts taking extra turns and then attacking and making you sacrifice 6 permanents, don't even bother. What deck was I playing when I lost to the Hydra? All the achievements I got... Okay, I guess only on this save. Total game wins, 1,222 games. Fastest game, turn 2. Most damage dealt. Leaving the opponent with negative 1,342 life. Most life when finishing a game, I had 116. This is like, do like X amount of spells in a single turn, I think. 26 spells in a single turn, and that was probably with my Animar Soul of Elements deck. Win the game with, I won a game with 1 land. Finish the game with 22. There's an enchantment like that makes it so every time you play a creature, you just get a random land from your deck onto the battlefield tapped. I put that World Weave into my Animar deck and then just proceed to play, like, 10 to 15 creatures in a single turn, because that deck is... If you let Animar stick around, then yeah, that deck can easily do that. Poisoned. When did I kill somebody with poison? I do not remember doing it on this specific save file. Pretty sure I didn't do that on this save file. Killing somebody with poison. Yeah, I just want to take a look at all the decks one last time that we have here. So yeah, I guess before I pretty much conclude this... Yeah, I know, culturally offensive, culturally insensitive, like, stereotype card here, I know. I mean, if not now, then, like, when are we ever gonna play this? We're probably not ever gonna play this again anyways. I mean, for one thing, I'm not playing Jihad in real life, even if it was still, like, legal, because how much is the card? How much would this set me back for a card that's, like... $450 on Star City Games? For an effect that, if you ask me, it's not even worth $450 because it's just it's a really old card that's never ever going to be reprinted again. That's not even remotely worth $450 for me, that effect. Even if I was allowed to play it. I'm not spending that much money on a card that, like, maybe goes in one deck. I'd maybe put it in, like, 1 or 2 decks and, like... No, it wouldn't be worth it. The One Ring. I cannot believe I got this as early as I think the first day of playing this Commander Mod playthrough. I believe it was the first day I got this. This and Skull Clamp, I'm pretty sure I got on the first day. Oh yeah, there's Skull Clamp. With a deck that you just make a bunch of, like, 1/1 tokens, this really has to be in there. And pretty much the deck I ended up just spending the most time playing. Rafine, Scheming Seer. As far as, like, yeah, 3 mana... As far as a 3-color commander goes, 3 mana is usually, like, the least amount of mana you gotta spend on it. And you're getting something with really good toughness for its mana cost. Got good evasion. Even, like, good protection against spells. Free ward 1. And then, yeah, the draw and discard just by attacking with a bunch of creatures. Really, really spicy. Really good effect. So yeah, we're playing black, so I have access to spells that just revive creatures from the graveyard for dirt cheap. We have access to an engine that lets us just draw and discard cards in our command zone. So yeah, we're turning this into a Reanimator deck, obviously. So yeah, all the best targets, like Agent of Treachery, Archon of Cruelty. This here because, I mean, this can easily just put itself into the graveyard. Griselbrand, if you actually want to put this deck together in, like typical commander, just you'll have to swap this out for something else. And if you want to play this in French Duel Commander, too bad. It's banned in Duel. If you just want to sit down at the multiplayer table, like, most of the deck here, I believe, is legal, except for this thing. Except for Griselbrand, you'll have to swap that out. Oh, right. You're not just gonna have, like, Mox Jet, Mox Pearl, Mox Sapphire lying around, and even if you did, you wouldn't be allowed to play them anyways, because who has these just lying around? Aside from the Moxen and Griselbrand, I wonder if I have any more banned cards in here. Oh, Ancestral Recall. You'll have to swap that out with something else too, of course. Yeah, sure, let me just go to, like, my pile of Ancestral Recalls I have just lying around. Yeah, the 3 Moxen would probably just be, like, 3 more lands. I could swap out Griselbrand with, say, maybe the Lord of Change. The 6/6 demon that just when it enters I draw 3 cards. I guess Ancestral Recall could just be, like, some other, like, 1 mana draw spell that's still good, but, like, not, like, broken. We literally had this for all of, like, 1 stream. Solitude. Pretty much, like, last minute Solitude. Maybe this won't be, like, the best card you can play if you actually have multiple opponents. Of course, I'm specifically putting this list together with the knowledge that I'm only going to be playing against 1 single opponent at a time, so... True name Nemesis. There are very, very few ways for a single opponent to get this off the field once it actually ends up on the field. Aragorn, King of Gondor. Basically just playing all our best red, white, and blue cards that we have, with a commander that just gives us the Monarch when it enters. We basically just want to hold on to this crown, draw cards turn after turn from it, and sort of just grind out our opponents. It's basically a control deck. Not really trying to do anything unfair, just trying to slowly accumulate card advantage. Playing a bunch of the best, like, spot removal and counter magic that we could find. And also some really good creatures to back this whole plan up. Even Ragavan. We pretty much only, like, really care about casting this as our commander. This is just so I can have like 2 other colors alongside Yoshimaru here. I basically played this turn 1 and just stack this deck full of legendary permanents. Just play legendary cards left, right, and center, and just watch Yoshimaru quickly grow just by playing legendary cards left and right. So yep, legendary, legendary. Legendary lands also help too for this game plan with Yoshi. Legendary. Legendary. This is just a all-around like good red card. Legendary land, legendary land. Legendary enchantment. Legendary, legendary. I think you get the point by now. Apparently I never bothered to put Mox Ruby in here, but at this point... I guess at this point what you see is what you get. A deck that I don't think I spent too much time playing this one. It was kind of just like a fun novelty idea, but if my opponent can just easily kill my Falithar, my deck is not really doing much. Basically, this deck is like just play a bunch of creatures with high toughness. If they have Defender and you can keep this commander around, the fact they normally can't attack doesn't really matter. Because your creatures could just attack as if they did not have Defender anyways. A wall that basically acts like a 4/4 and it's also a haste enabler. Let's play this. It might come up, maybe I need to deal with an opponent playing a bunch of burn spells. It could come up, I'm playing against like a really aggressive red deck that plays a lot of instant sorceries that do like burn damage. The original Doran, and then like the Lorwyn Eclipse Doran. Those also feel right at home in a deck like this. This is just a pretty good card all around in black and green, so yeah, I'm playing Grist. I was playing Grist in here. Yeah, the whole point is, with Falithar, I can make this do damage with its 4 toughness. Has lifelink. I gain 4 life instead of 1. And then if I gained like 4 life, I just make my opponent lose 3 life for free. That's kind of the point of this being here. Don't really think I'd have this in any other deck. Except for maybe a really dedicated vampire deck, but really would not bother to play this anywhere else. This is just here because of the 5 toughness. This is a Heroes of the Realm card, right? As in, like, not even tournament legal or anything. It's just Forge. The devs put it in the game, so I'm like, okay, let's play it. It has 20 toughness for 5 mana. This deck loves creatures with lots of toughness. So, yeah, this should be like a shoo-in. Make a charisma check. Okay, it's clear I don't really know exactly what this card does. I just saw the 20 toughness and I put it in there. Oh yeah, Shield Sphere, that's hilarious in this deck. Basically, if you play your commander, this can start attacking and do like 6 damage. And it costs 0 to play it, so that's just hilarious. Plus 0 plus 10. It even has flash. Wall of Blood. If you have like a bunch of life to spare, and you're able to attack into like an empty board, and you have your commander out, just pay as much life as you need to and just one-shot your opponent with the Wall of Blood. If you have enough life to spare. And once you're starting with like 40 plus life, that's pretty easy to make happen. Okay, this is basically another control deck. It's gonna look a lot like the Aragorn deck I showed you earlier. Okay, I think, yeah, definitely last time I was playing this deck, I was trying to deal with these pesky, like... Yeah, I was trying to deal with these pesky, like, red decks that were giving me a lot of trouble. I was trying to fight these, like, super powerful opponents who are playing mono red. So, of course, let's play Blue Elemental Blast. 1 blue mana. Counter a red spell or destroy a red permanent. If I know my opponent's playing only red, and I'm playing blue, obviously play this. Looking for good auras and equipment to put onto Geist Saint Traff to make him harder to kill. Because every time this attacks, I just get a 4/4 White Angel that's also attacking the opponent. Hexproof makes it really hard to actually... So your opponent's best bet is to deal with it in combat. I'll try and just put like so many good auras and equipment on it that they can't even really defeat him in combat either. And then they just have like a commander. Then they just have like a creature that they can't really do shit about. Of course, we're backing up this whole plan with really good counter magic and removal. Or the best counter magic and spot removal we can possibly find. I play enough, like, basic lands that I could just... If the opponent's playing too many non-basics, this can kind of just completely, like... This could just completely ruin their day. Non-basic lands are islands. Yeah, I have 10 islands in here, and how many planes did I put? I put like 7 planes in here. If I need to give Geist of Saint Traff like protection from a certain color so creatures of that color can't block them, yeah, there's Mother of Runes. This also is just really good at clearing out opposing creatures, even if only temporary. I mean, if you could just get their life total to 0 before this runs out of fate counters, they never get their creatures back anyways. I'm not sure why I have this in here. If I really don't want my opponent to attack me. That could probably just be, like, another, like... Source of Plowshares is already... Yeah, that's already in here. This could be, like, say, a Path to Exile. Burn damage in blue. And they might not even see it coming. This is a land on the back. Yeah, I think the deck at this point just speaks for itself. Good equipment, sort of Face and Famine, Fire and Ice, Umezawa's Jitte, yeah, just really good equipment in general. Yeah, this can put -1/-1 counters on my opponent's creatures and just steal them if they die later. I tried to just put as many of, like, my best... Okay, this is in here because of the synergy with the -1/-1 counters with the commander. Other than that, it's just a bunch of my best black, red, and green cards in one deck. Not really much going on here with, like, the... Not trying to synergize too much with the commander. Just trying to put all my best cards in these 3 colors in one deck. I think I'm also trying to just revive creatures from the graveyard too, so that might be why this is in here. This will kill, like, I think 99% of the creatures in the game. This is probably only here because of the commander I'm playing. I think this is in here because I have Birthing Pod. Do I have, like, another... Yeah, I have another, like, 7 mana costing creature. I didn't take Birthing Pod out, right? I put it in the side. For some reason, I put this in the sideboard. Sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a creature with converted mana cost equal to whatever you sacrificed +1. Put it onto the battlefield. Yeah, easy enough to pay only 3 mana to cast this, but with how its mana cost is constructed out of these 2-grid mana symbols, basically pay either 2 of any kind of mana or just 1 of the color that it represents. And it's got 3 of these 2-grid symbols, so it actually acts like a converted mana cost 6 card. Yet you can play it for 3. So Birthing Pod of the way, go get something with mana value 7. Or even better, Eldritch Evolution. Sacrifice a creature. Go search for something with converted mana cost equal to whatever you sacrifice +2. So the dream would be, like, sacrifice this to Eldritch Evolution, go get Griselbrand. I never found Eldritch Evolution in this playthrough, though, but... And if Griselbrand's not legal, just, I guess, find your best 8-drop of choice. You'll have to find another 8-drop to do with with Reaper Kingdom or an Eldritch Evolution. I would maybe recommend Archon of Cruelty. It's one of my personal favorites. Animar, Soul of Elements. This is the deck that just tries to pop off as quickly as possible. Cast my commander as soon as possible. Every creature spell I play just makes it get bigger. And as it does, my creature spells just get easier and easier to cast. So, just by playing creatures, your creatures you play later down the road, your typically more expensive creatures just get cheaper. And pretty much the whole point of this is just, like, rapid fire, just cast a bunch of creature spells. This is here because once Animar is big enough, you can actually just play this for no mana at all. And it can even return itself back to your hand to let you just recast it over and over if need be. Yeah, random, like, 25-cent, like, draft chaff common, and turns into an absolute fucking menace in Animar. Yeah, since our game plan just revolves around getting certain creatures out onto the battlefield and just doing crazy combos with them, Birthing Pod's a shoo-in. I need something to deal with artifacts and enchantments, so Cankerbloom's in here for that. Every time I play a creature spell, I draw a card. This deck has at least like 40 to 45 creatures. Untap my lands. Also playing as many of these, like, 1 mana dorks as I possibly can. Because this card is just absolutely ridiculous. And I just got really lucky that it actually ended up in my collection, so yeah. We'll play this. We'll play Fast Bond. Should also go without saying I have a lot of ways to just go and search my deck for specific creatures. If I need, like, a specific creature at any point in my combo, I can just go search it. So essentially what we're trying to do is just play so many creatures that Animar gets so big that it might even have enough counters to make Kozilek Butcher of Truth literally cost no mana at all to play. We can literally make this free. We're even playing a bunch of ways to just return creatures to owner's hands. Sure, I can do my opponents, but it's also really good to bounce your own creatures in this deck once they cost very little mana. So if you have something with like a really good enters the battlefield ability, or even in just this case, Kozilek can draw you 4 cards when you cast it. Let's just say it costs like no mana at all, and then you return it back to your hand and then you just recast it again. Or maybe you want to go search for another specific creature from your deck. So you just use this to put this back into your hand, and then you go get another creature. That can cost that can cost literally 1 mana to draw 2. Untap up to 5 lands. Normally you're paying 5 mana. It's basically like a free spell if you can just pay 5 mana up front. But in this deck, we're actually just gaining mana. We're typically actually just gaining mana by playing this, or spending like, at the very like best case scenario, 1 mana to get 5 mana back. And if you can just find ways to continuously put this back into your hand to recast it or copy it, you'll just be able to like get even more mana back. If I want to untap something, Pestermite, or even tap something down. I don't know, usually I'm untapping a land so I can make more mana with it. Is Gaia's Cradle not in here? Did I forget to put it in? I forgot to put Gaia's Cradle in my deck, wow. Probably one of the best lands ever printed, and I forgot to actually put it in my deck. Yeah, speaking of cards to untap, the land that lets me make a green mana for every creature I control. If we can untap that, we'll untap that. Copy any creature, copy any creature. I mean, if you actually just want to play, like, multiplayer Commander, you gotta just take this out and find something else to put in. Play lands from graveyard. I guess to pair that with Fast Bond. Yes, pair this Cub with any fetch land, and you can make Animar grow huge, like, really quickly. This is a Shrieking Drake. Just when I play it, I have to return one of my creatures back to my hand. It could even bounce itself, if necessary. This deck has a lot of good, like, enters the battlefield triggers. This just lets me double up on them. This is a land on the back. This card is just hilarious in this deck. Return all non-elemental creatures to their owner's hands. If you've already played a bunch of creatures, Animar's like, I don't know. Animar has like 10 or more +1/+1 counters on it. And all your creatures become super cheap. This is an elemental, so it actually survives like the board. It actually survives Thunderflock's board wipe effect. Even better, it puts all the creatures back into the owner's hands. So everything with a really good enters the battlefield ability, if you want to play it again, you could just play all your creatures again. And the cost reduction will still be in effect because Animar doesn't leave the field from this. Honestly, it just feels kind of like a win more card every time I've actually played this in real life, and if I can't actually get my commander to stick around, and this could easily just rot in my hand. Just to make it harder to kill my creatures, particularly to make it harder to kill my commander. Just to draw a bunch of cards. I can play this for as little as 2 mana, and draw a card for every creature I control. This searches... Did I put Expedition Map in here or no? I guess I forgot to put Expedition Map in because I would just use that to search any land, and that would be probably this. There's still like 2 really good targets for Trinket Mage in here. That's okay, I guess. Is Skullclamp really just not in here? What's it doing on my sideboard? There probably must have been like that one matchup where I could not use Skullclamp for some reason. Probably had to have been a random matchup where I literally couldn't use it. So yeah, that's one of my like favorite Trinket Mage targets. This is just like a really pushed like Simic card, so of course it's in here. Wheel of Fortune, because that's just... yeah, it's Wheel of Fortune. This is just my combo deck. I'm trying to just put as many 2-card combos in here as possible. Whether it be like just a way to empty my deck and play a Thassa's Oracle and win the game on the spot, or make infinite mana, and plenty of ways to draw cards or search my deck for the combo pieces in question. Fast mana like this is also present. Oh, how could we forget? Flash. Hermit Druid to mill my entire deck because it's all like... everything is non-basic lands. I think this is here for like the Cephalid Illusionist. Yeah, this and any other creature and Lightning Greaves. I can just target this infinitely with the same Lightning Greaves to mill my deck. That's one way to empty. That's one way to get all the cards out of my deck. Never really used it. Never really got to use that though, but it's there. I'm trying to draw as many cards as I can to quickly find a game-ending combo and just win on the spot there. Oh, how could we forget? Protean Hulk. Flash in Protean Hulk, you just go find the creature cards necessary. Just go find any combination of creature cards that just win you the game on the spot. Yeah, flash in Protean Hulk and then just win the game on the spot. I'm usually searching up Hermit Druid and Laboratory Maniac. And this is here too to protect my creatures. So I'm basically making Hermit Druid put my entire library into my graveyard and then winning the game because of the other creature I searched up. Yeah, there's Thassa's Oracle. This is another way to just pretty much get rid of my entire library. And then, lastly, Rafika the Many. Pretty fun combat trick in here. Okay, essentially we're playing a bunch of good equipment, good creatures, ways to search up the equipment. This is just a really good combat damage trigger to pair alongside Rafik. Give this +1/+1 and then give it double strike and have it do 4 damage total. You're drawing a total of 4 cards. And that's just like the beginning. Slap some equipment on this and then give a double strike and you're going to be drawing way more cards than that. I remember to put Gaia's Cradle in here but not Animar. Like, how? I mean, I'm like... I'll just play this when my creature has double strike, so it's gonna do like 8 extra damage instead of 4. Copy any equipment on the battlefield for just 1 mana. Noble Hierarch. Can't really go wrong with that in this color combo. Rancor, just classic aura. Shelter by Ghosts, pretty solid too. Shadow Spear, pretty solid as well. Some more good equipment here. Creature that's pretty much impossible to block. Another good piece of equipment. This is okay, I guess. And yeah, there you have it, I suppose. I don't think I missed the deck here. I did miss a deck, so there you have it. I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly how much time I spent playing on this exactly, like right now. I actually have to go just look and see, like, how long each of my individual streams was. That would tell you how much time I spent playing on the specific Commander Mode playthrough. But with 10 decks made, pretty much almost all the bosses beaten, and it pretty much just becoming a joke now to beat like 99% of the enemies in game. Yeah, I think this is like a good place to just pretty much end this specific playthrough here. But yeah, I would definitely see myself coming back with another Magic the Gathering Forge Adventure playthrough. More likely than not, going forward, it's probably going to be a playthrough on Vigilant Serra's Realm of Legends. So yeah, I guess until next time.